Hello, Aries. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of January 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I'll be using my Morgan Greer Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And then Aries, I will close out your reading with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. All right, Aries, let's get right to it. Okay, what do we need to know for the sign of Aries as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? Okay, I thought I bumped the thing that was holding my camera. Okay. Prosperity and abundance for the month of January 2021. What do we need to know for the sign of Aries? All right. Aries, January, you are coming in strong. You are coming in really strong. You've got power, you've got breakthroughs, you've got luxury, you've got rebirth. Yeah, I mean, things are coming in strong. We've also got the Nine of Wands here. Okay, make sure nobody's cut off. So like I said, as we move into this new month of January, Aries, you're going to be coming in very, very strong. Like I said, you've got breakthroughs happening. You've got, work that you're doing that is being very much results oriented. You're going to see a lot of things happening that you've been plugging away at for a while. Now, as this relates to your money, this tells me that, things are going to start moving. Especially if you've been trying to start a business or you've been trying to kind of get to that next level in your career, you're going to start seeing obstacles kind of dissolve. You're going to see things kind of somehow miraculously move out of your way. Okay, blocks are being removed. That's what I see here, especially with this Ace of Swords, because this Ace of Swords is a huge breakthrough card. It means that something you've been working on finally comes together in a very good way, or it just means that somehow through the powers that be, things work out in your favor. Things happen in a very positive, strong, optimistic way. Now, we also have this Eight of Pentacles here. This means that work is probably going to slow down for you. This is not something that's in direct correlation with the breakthroughs that are happening. But I do think that this is probably just the normal flow of what you do. Whether you work, whether you have a business, whether you're in sales or investing or whatever it may be, you're going to see a dip in your work or your workflow once we hit this first week of January. I want you to know, though, that that's temporary, because I can look at other cards and I can tell that this is not something that's permanent. You're just going to see, work will slow down and then it'll pick up. Next, we have the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords talks about being caught about making a decision, or being caught in between making a decision. Now, you may think you only have one option, but if you take your time to really examine the issue from every potential angle, you will see that maybe that's not the only option, or you will see there's a much financially better option awaiting you if you just kind of pursue that direction. I also want you to be very much aware that sometimes you have to question what is presented to you, right? Like sometimes you'll be somewhere and they'll say, okay, you have choice A or B. Now there's a C and D. They just didn't tell you about it, right? So when I see this card, sometimes I get that impression that the only, choices being presented are not the only choices available. And if that's the case, that could be the game changer for you. So if you find yourself in that type of a position, Aries, especially in this first week of January, make sure you take the time to advocate for yourself and say, okay, I appreciate choices A and B, but isn't there a C choice available too? Correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean. You say it in a nice way. But I just want you to know that sometimes what is presented to us or what is in front of us is not all that there is. And this is something to truly understand, especially when it comes to making money, when it comes to building a business, when it comes to moving up, in your career, in your work. Don't let people tell you that this one way is the only way to achieve what you want. Now, you may have to work with other people. You may have to go to a different company. You may have to do something else, but it doesn't mean this is your only option. All right, continuing on, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is my favorite, one of my favorite cards. This card is always me in the deck. This is the card about luxury. This is a card about being high-end, upscale, classy. I love the energy of this card because it talks about you just enjoying the money that is coming to you. You just really, relishing in all the good things that are starting to show up for you. And when I see this card, it means, yes, good things are starting to come to you. Things that are lavish, things that are lovely, things that are just, you're just so deserving and so worthy of it. So you really need to embrace and enjoy all the beautiful things that are coming your way, and they're definitely coming. Again, we've got the Judgment card. This is the card about rebirth, new beginnings. The other thing about Judgment, it talks about decisions being made in your favor. This is a beautiful card. This is a very powerful card in the deck as well, because this is a card that talks about just having a new life. If you are thinking about changing jobs, moving somewhere and starting fresh, this is a card that would come up and say that yes, this is the right thing to do for you at this time. But maybe you're not ready to take something, like that, do such a drastic change. Well, this is still a card that's saying no matter what you do, if you're starting off new and fresh, it's definitely going to work out for you. Okay? So let's continue on, Aries, and see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021. What do we need to know? Whoa. For the sign of Aries. Okay, Aries, as we move into the second week of January 2021, you are actually going to be in the rebuilding phase. Now, the thing about the Tower card in the reverse is that it tells me that if there was something hugely problematic going on, it's over, it's done. We're now past that, and we are in the phase of rebuilding. We are in the phase of healing. We are in the phase of restructuring. The good thing about the Tower card is that it just tells us that the worst is over. Now, when I look at your other cards, Aries, I don't see any type of worse anything so far. And not that I see anything that even indicates we're moving in that direction. But the Tower card, like I said, this could be something not that was recent, but this could be something that was in, months past, where maybe you did have some things that were very troublesome, and you've worked your way through it. You've dealt with the pain. You've dealt with, the aftermath of whatever it could be. And like I said, now we're in the phase of rebuilding. This is a very good card to have in the reverse. Next, we have the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups talks about sometimes we get let down by someone close to us. There's an emotional attachment to someone, and he or she may have disappointed you in some way. Now, the thing about this is that I'm getting the sense that there could have also been a financial, monetary connection between you two, because we are doing this in the context of a money and financial reading. So there could be someone that you have emotional ties as well as financial ties to. Now, we have to pay attention to our relationships when it comes to money, because that literally can make or break a person. You know, sometimes you partner with the wrong person, whether that be in business or in marriage. And we all have heard stories of, you know, horrific things happening to people financially. While I don't get that sense, I do get the sense that sometimes your emotional ties to people can cause you not to make the strongest decisions on your own behalf. You know, sometimes if we're emotionally tied to someone, we can kind of not be as, what would the word be? We can kind of not be as maybe focused as to what we would do had we not had that emotional influence of the other person. So this is just something to pay attention to here. Now, the rest of the cards here are really positive and beautiful. We have the Four of Wands here, which is the card of stability. This is also the marriage card. This is also a card of things being really, really solid, like you have a really strong foundation. So if you are thinking about starting a business, or you are thinking about doing something financially, and you're trying to figure out, you know, if you have what you need in order to get it started, this card says, yes, you have a really good solid foundation, and this is exactly what you need in order to grow. Next, we have the Hangman in the reverse. This means that you're no longer stuck, stagnant. You know which way you want to go. The path has been cleared. Your eyes are wide open. You're very motivated, and you're anticipating some good things happening because you are ready to take action. This is another good card that I like to see in reverse, because it means that you are no longer stuck. It means that you are clear-headed to move forward. Finally, we have the King of Wands here. The King of Wands, or the King of Rods, in this deck is all about, again, someone paying attention to you. Someone's got their eye on you in the workplace. This is not like a romantic thing. This means that maybe a manager, a higher up, or a boss or something is looking at you favorably. The other thing about the King of Wands is that it talks about some really good movement happening in your place of employment. Now, if you're not employed, this is still good, because it means that somewhere someone is thinking of you, or watching you, or considering you for something of a financial benefit, or a financial opportunity. Right? This could be a family member. It could be maybe your next door neighbor. It could be anybody who says, you know, I know she needs a few bucks. Maybe I'll ask her if she, I don't know, can do whatever, and I'll pay her, you know, whatever the case may be. Just know that you're on someone's mind, and they're considering you for something, a project, something that could be financially beneficial to you. All right, Aries, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of January 2020, or 2021, I'm sorry, 2021. All right, Aries, as we move into this new month and this new year, when it comes to financial literacy, there's something that you need to maybe study a bit more. Looks like you're on the right path with this, with the Queen of Pentacles. She's telling me you're on the right path. There's just a little bit more you need to learn. There's just a few more classes you need to take, maybe a few more practices at doing whatever, okay? So don't get frustrated or discouraged. The Queen of Pentacles tells us you just need to learn a little bit more. You just need to sharpen your skills a little bit more, and then you're going to be exactly where you want to be in order to create the income or the lifestyle that you want. Now, we also have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords talks about something being eliminated. Now, this is something that's going to be eliminated for your benefit. The King of Swords doesn't waste time. Sometimes this card showing up in the reverse is like a wasteful energy. You know how some people just waste your time and they just waste your energy? Sometimes that can happen with this King of Swords, you know, and I have a feeling that this is something you're already aware of, Aries, and you are going to cut that off. It could be, now because it fell on this Knight of Cups, could be the same person here, where you just kind of get to the point where you realize you're not going to waste time with this particular person or this particular thing that you're trying to make work in order for it to pay off. You can only take so much, you only have so much time, you only have so much energy, and you decide to cut something off once we hit the second half of January. Now, this may or may not resonate, but I have a feeling there's something here that you're probably going to let go because it's just not worth it. Next, we have the Moon card. Now, the Moon card talks about things being unseen. So, if you have a question about something, if you're concerned about something, or if there's something where you feel like, I don't quite know everything there is to know, trust your gut on that, okay? Now, the interesting thing about the Moon card too is that it means that things are hidden and they're not yet revealed, meaning that there is probably something that will show up and will be revealed to you in due time. However, there's still something you don't know. So when it comes to your money, if you feel like there's something you don't know, you need to trust that and not, plunge ahead if you feel like there's still some things you're in the dark about. Next, we have the Page of Swords. Again, this is a message about something being stopped, eliminated, discontinued. Because it's next to this Ace of Pentacles, which is also in reverse, I'm getting the sense that there's going to probably be some type of a financial delay or a financial holdup with something once we hit the second half of January. Now, the interesting thing about this too is that because you're going to get a message about something that could be delayed, postponed, canceled, where something just doesn't happen in the time that it's supposed to, it looks like you're going to get some word on that, because I'm feeling like these two cards are connected, especially because they're right next to each other. So pay attention to the messages you get, because something could be stopped, slowed down, eliminated, cut off, whatever. But you're going to have enough of a heads up in order to adjust, so it's not going to be such a heavy blow. It's not going to be something that totally, destroys you financially, but it could be something that, had you not had a heads up about it, the fact that you can prepare, it's going to make it a lot easier to deal with. Next, we have the Eight of Cups, talking about no regrets, walking away from something without hesitation. I feel like this could be an opportunity, maybe even a job for some of you, but the Eight of Cups means leaving with no regrets, being, fully confident in whatever it is that you decide. And if you decide that this thing is not the thing for you, you have no problem, no hesitation, turning around and moving in a different direction. All right, Aries, let's see what else shows up for you. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021. All right. Okay, so as we close out January, Aries, I have to say that you're really going to have to conserve your energy, right? I say that because we have the Strength here in the reverse. Now, the Strength card in the reverse talks about sometimes physical burnout, doing too much and overworking yourself. Now, I understand we all have those moments where we do have to really work and we really do have to drive ahead really, really hard. But pay attention to your energy, pay attention that you don't overwork yourself and burn yourself out, especially during this last week of January. Next, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is actually a good card because it means that you're not being such a tightwad with the money. It means that you're a lot more relaxed when it comes to money, especially during this time. Now, the nice thing about this too is that it means that you feel confident and you feel comfortable with where you're at financially. It also means too that you're not trying to overcompensate in other areas, with spending or with, not being responsible, with your money and with your purchases, and with your savings as well. So next we have the Six of Swords. This talks about you taking a trip somewhere. Could be a work trip, could be a business, thing that you do. The other thing about the Six of Swords is it just means, travel and distance is involved. Maybe it could be a relocation, maybe it could be a job transfer for some of you. But just know that as we close out the month of January, the opportunity to travel will very much show up for you at this time. Next, we have the Knight of Swords. Did we have the Knight of Swords? No, this is not a repeater. So the Knight of Swords in the reverse talks about things happening very, very slowly. Now, because this fell on the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, this is telling me that whatever this message was of something kind of being delayed, it looks like that delay kind of goes into the following week. Now, the good thing about this, because I see the Six of Wands next, the Six of Wands is all about you showing up and being seen. Well, because things are kind of happening kind of slowly, it gives you more time to kind of step back. It gives you more time to kind of regroup and rebrand and kind of re-strategize what you're going to do next, especially as we go into the next month. So, when things are moving slowly, please don't always interpret it as negative. Sometimes having this extra time and this extra space to really kind of breathe and do more, and maybe take a break, or maybe reevaluate what you want to do, sometimes that can really work in your favor, and that's definitely what I see here. So please just stay optimistic, Aries, as we move throughout January, because it looks like you're going through a lot of changes. Things are kind of, it's like they're moving, excuse me, and then they're not. And then they're moving, and then they're not. And then things look good, and then things slow down. It's one of those things where it just kind of flows in its own its own way. And your job is really just to trust it and understand that no matter what happens, things work out for your ultimate highest good. Even the things that don't necessarily feel all that positive, I promise you that when all is said and done, there is a blessing in there for you. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and close out with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. Very nice. This is the card of release, and I don't know if you can see the gold foil on that. This is a gorgeous deck. But the card here is release, and I think this really mirrors what we were talking about and what I just said about, trusting the flow of things, even though it's not happening in your timing or in your way, your own way, your preferred way. Release the control, release the anxiousness, and release the doubt, because, like I said, everything will work out. It will work out. In some way, shape, or form, it will work out. So release the anxiousness about it. All right, Aries, I hope you enjoyed this. Excuse me, I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll definitely do it all again next month.